My name is Dave Way. I'm a music engineer, mixer, producer here in Los Angeles, and we're at my studio called Way Station. I started in bands in high school and even before that a little bit. I was a musician, songwriter, and I kind of started looking into what it takes to become a recording engineer and start working in a studio. And that led me to Berklee College of Music. And then I went to New York and started working in the studio. That was my end. New York was happening. There was a lot of studios and a lot of music coming out of there. Then I got called at the Hit Factory for an interview, and I got a job there as a runner. And the Hit Factory at the time was pretty much top studio in New York. And I was just a runner, but the people coming through were Bruce Springsteen and the Rolling Stones and Cyndi Lauper, Billy Joel, all the big artists of the time. Every day was iconic records being made. I'm a huge Beatles fan, and I was mixing somewhere at a studio here in Los Angeles, and there was this magazine called Music Connection, still around. And they would have little blurbs about what records are being made and what's going on. And I remember seeing there was one that said Ringo Starr is making a record. On a whim, called my manager and says, hey, there's a Ringo Starr record being made. I don't know if they've finished it yet or not, but if it's not been mixed yet, I want to mix it. He called me back like half an hour later and said, okay, you got a meeting with Mark Hudson tomorrow. Like 2 weeks later, I was flying to England and staying at Ringo's house and mixing his record on a boat. It's a studio on a boat called Astoria, beautiful studio owned by David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. And it was just incredible. It was a dream. I first found out about Atmos, I'm guessing it was 3 years ago maybe, so 2018, something like that. And I went in, I think a little skeptical and, because I was not the biggest believer in surround sound formats that had been around before. At that point, I was just kind of keeping my eye on it because I thought, wow, this is not just surround sound. This is something different. This really is kind of an immersive experience. And so we started thinking about how we might want to record things a little differently, mainly having some more room mics around, using binaural mics and things like that. I started getting the setup together in my mind with my studio consultant, Chris, and that involved using the Focusrite stuff, which he had been telling me about for years. He had told me about Dante for, I don't remember, probably 10 years ago when it first came out, or first started making its presence. And so now, and I was like, oh, okay, I see now why Dante is a good thing here, and this will work out well. And the core of my Atmos setup is the Red 16 line, and then I've also got two A16Rs and an HD 32R, which is mainly for Dante, going to the renderer extra Dante outs. And then the R1 monitor controller. One of the beauties of an Atmos mix is now we have all this space around us where you don't have to carve things out so much, and things can be more full fidelity, and you're really able to hear the details of them because they're not being masked by some other sound that's really on top of it or very close to it. So as a result, you kind of don't have to compress and EQ things as much. And when creative people kind of feel like their possibilities are heightened, it's a good sign for what the consumer's going to get, a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road.